in progress.
Good evening. We're calling the Park Commission meeting to order at 6:35 p.m. on the 20th of January 2026. And I wanted to ask before we get started to make sure that our remote locations are listed as correct. So Ellen, your address is correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. And same for me. So, all right, that's great. And Casey, if we could establish a quorum.
I can. I'm going to start with members present and then go with members remote.
Okay.
So Vice Chair Nguyen. Here. Commissioner Stout. Present. Commissioner McDonald. Here. Commissioner Sandon. Here. And then remote, we have Commissioner Dolich.
Here, yes.
Chair Morris.
I'm here.
We have all 6 members present.
Great, thank you. So now I call the meeting to order, sorry. And then I think the next thing is the Pledge of Allegiance. Is that correct? Okay. So, pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. And then do we have any speakers, public speakers there for items not on the agenda?
You don't have anything turned in. Oh, not on me. This is for the agenda later. Okay, so nothing for now.
Okay, all right, thank you. So moving on, we need to approve our minutes for November 17th, 2025. If everybody's able and ready to do that, and if someone wants to make a motion, or if you have corrections, please make them known. Anybody, are they fine?
I make a motion to approve it.
Thank you. Could someone second it, please? And we have a second?
Okay, we have a second from Commissioner Stout.
Okay, great. Sorry, the sound is not very good. I can't hear you all.
I kind of thought it might not be. Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear Ellen, but not the other parts.
Teresa, well.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so we approve the minutes and
I'll take a, do you want me to take a vote?
I would actually, sorry, thank you.
That's okay. Vice Chair Nguyen. Here. Commissioner Scott. Here. Approved.
Approved. Thank you.
Commissioner McDonald. Approved. And Commissioner Sandon. Approved. And Commissioner Dolich.
Approved.
And Chair Morris.
Approved.
Okay, so those are approved unanimously.
Great, thank you. And if I'm correct, the next is that we're going to start working on our work plan.
Correct.
Okay.
Would you have a brief update?
And I'm sorry, before we launch into it, I just wanted to let everybody know it may not seem like a big agenda, but it's a pretty significant agenda. So it'll be good for us to work on this and stay focused on it. Okay. So are there, I don't know, does staff have anything they want to tell us or share with us about this? Or we can just, okay.
Yes, so what we can say, this right here is the draft 2026 work plan. This is what we came up from the last meeting. We actually did bring the ideas together, we put them in. This is the draft that came out of that meeting. Hopefully many of you have looked at it before coming in here today. And then you'll be able to make comments on it. I think the ideas that we captured here in this one-page document sums up what this commission was thinking at last meeting. So at this point, we can begin discussion. I don't believe, I don't believe there is, anything, or actually, I'll ask the chair, if the chair wants to go line by line again, just to verify things, or if we want to go ahead commissioner by commissioner about comments on first the items that are on them. Then I suggest we go to assignments. That will be, secondary. Once we get everything in line, we will
Yeah.
take notes. And I will, end this, brief report with, this needs to be approved by this commission tonight. Okay?
Okay.
This will go to the council and in preparation for the joint meeting, which we will cover the date and time, later in this meeting.
I think it's fine to do what you suggested, as the order for it. And, I mean, certainly commissioners can go through it line by line as they're making comments on it. I did forget one thing. I meant to say that this is item number 2, on the, agenda for tonight. And, then next, do any of the commissioners have any clarifying questions for staff? Just clarifying at this point. I don't see or hear anything. So then the next order of business is to go with, if there are any comments from members of the public. And then we'll have a discussion.
We do have one.
Okay.
member of the public.
Great. So, the full 3 minutes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Give a second and I'll get that timer up. And then we have Maria, if you want to come to the front, if you don't mind.
Is this a good stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Great. Hi, I'm Maria Batista. Nice to see you again after last week. But I just, I had sent a letter earlier today and I hope you all had a chance to take a look at that. And I just thought I'd come and reiterate, because I think it just, I'd like to just put voice to, how important you are as a commission. And that moving forward, I know we've got a lot of park, developments coming on in Los Altos. And I think it is critical that the commission has the opportunity not only for yourselves as a body to advise council, but also to provide the community a forum where ideas can be discussed. Because oftentimes, as you've probably seen in city council meetings, things are either on consent calendar where there's no discussion, or the discussion time is very limited. And for park and park facilities and park renovations, park projects, they are most parks are held very dearly by the neighborhoods that they're in. And I think the community really benefits by having an opportunity for community input as changes are made and improvements are made to neighborhood parks. The other thing I wanted to also mention too is I had been on the commission many years ago, and when we redid all of the playground structures in Los Altos, and we found it really helpful to establish a look and feel for Los Altos, where we carried a specific sort of look and feel throughout the city. And it was very efficient, but it also had the purpose of making sure that everything fit with the character of Los Altos. And I would really urge you to take some time to look at some of the newer playground designs. Like one of my favorites is Tunnel Tops in San Francisco, which uses all natural materials. I think, again, there's a segment of our community that's really pushing for Los Altos to focus on using natural materials wherever possible. And hopefully in this year, we'll see, with your help as well as the Environmental Commission, a move toward banning all artificial turfs and synthetic surfaces and using as little plastic as possible, especially in things related to children. So just, again, wanted to give voice to that and hope that that could be part of your work plan. I know the Environmental Commission or one of the city council members, 3, said they'd like to see a joint meeting between you and the Environmental Commission. I'd love to see that on your work plan when you discuss with council. And that would be toward the end, working toward, again, the reduction or a complete elimination of synthetics in Los Altos parks. So I'd like to see both the joint meeting on your work plan and also on your work plan really spelling out that you are actually actively involved in any of the park renovations that might happen in this calendar year. And also while we're at it, to add to the list. I think it'd also be really helpful if the park commission had a very clear understanding moving forward of park and lieu fees and park impact fees, which is are restricted funds that you're.
Maria, I'm sorry to
Uh,
interrupt you. It's the end of the time.
Okay, thank you. Aloha.
Thank you. Aloha. Mahalo. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but it was a 3-minute limit on that. And I would recommend that additional emails to us are very helpful also. So feel free to add more in an email if you'd like. If there are no other members of the public to speak, then we'll close the public speaking time of the agenda item 2, and then we can open the discussion time for our commissioners.
Correct. I'll put the work plan back up.
Okay, thank you.
You can share with me. Yeah, sure. Let me make it bigger too. I can zoom in on line items if that's helpful. Yeah, I just want to make it full screen.
So.
So
Chair,
maybe so go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, Chair Morris, how are you gonna do this? Are you gonna just call on each commissioner and go around? Is that how you said you would prefer?
We can do it that way. If a commissioner wants to jump in and get started, that's fine. We can do a circle if you want to do that. If people feel comfortable with that, just go person by person is fine. So how do the commissioners want to do it? Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So if you want to, I think you just kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You looking to start? You looking to start?
I have a clarifying, this is.
Clarifying question. Go ahead, you can do one more.
I'm just looking at the very first thing, it's gonna go line by line. So I definitely remember our discussion about evaluating parks, collaborating. Now, we're coming in as still like the new commission, and my understanding is there are certain parks that have already been evaluated by the council, and I know that they've received some proposals, right, for like playgrounds and such. So I'm wondering, is there a place for us to look at that? In other words, like, I would like to understand what is already in the works. Is that something we should give feedback and participate in, or is that already like a closed subject? So that we can focus on other parks or other locations who haven't been explored yet in terms of how we can improve and support them.
I'm coming from staff, I would recommend that, there are, everything's open. Everything's open. Look at those parks, evaluate things. You're probably, as commissioners, if you do have an evaluation process, which is really what I recommend, the first thing you do is organize that. And what you're looking for in each park, look at everything right now. There are projects kind of in the queue, but not scheduled yet
I see.
in the upcoming
Like the
years.
shoe park, like the playground.
Yeah, that stuff, that's happening, that's already, but
Well,
there
that's my
are
point,
other,
exactly.
exactly, so
Okay.
those playgrounds, that's one thing. Other upgrades, changes to parks, outside of what we're already in what you see on the budget as far as projects, CIP projects for our parks, that's already ready to go.
Got
The other projects that you may see on a 5-year, they're in the queue. I can share that with this commission. Once the commission comes back with other things, we'll make sure on top of that, you can see what we've come up with. The staff is always out there. They're out there every day. We're evaluating things. We have calendars of when things were updated recently and a long time ago. So we're putting schedules together to redo things and upgrade. But definitely outside of maintenance type replacements, we don't have a lot of expansion plans for certain parks or change of use plans for certain parks. Because right now we have a baseball field at Reseda, just as an example. Baseball field at Reseda, we might want to just say, you know what, forget about baseball, let's make it lawn bowling, something like that. I'm just saying it could be anything, any suggestions are welcome.
Okay. Maybe it will go more smoothly if we do go line by line and each commissioner comments on the work plan line by line.
Okay, well, we're in that first line.
Yeah.
So
I do. So in line with the public comments that were made, do we want to specifically spell out the environmental priorities of the city? I know that this is kind of a good top level general statement, but it's a little bit vague. Do we want to like emphasize the environmental impact that we're trying to work toward?
I might say something like in collaboration with the Environmental Commission, for example. Yeah, I would be personally a little careful about saying like evaluate environmental impact. Sounds like a really technical meaning that we probably don't have the skills to get into, but the Environmental Commission might, for example.
I like that. I like that recommendation. You know, it's all part of the collaboration. So if we actually spell out and collaborate with staff
We add environmental.
and the
Yeah.
environmental commission and is there other, are there other commissions we would consider? Collaborating with them?
Is planning just probably like residential?
Is there like a youth commission or like a parent or anybody that would be very concerned about playground?
I do, if I may, I would recommend that maybe you discuss that with us. The Environmental Commission is an obvious one because
Yeah.
council has brought it up before, so you can put that in. Expanding, there's two things. One is I would probably run it by council first, to see if there's any other interest that council wants to say, hey, that's a great idea, we agree. Or also think about your dynamic,
Yeah.
commissioners, you start getting, we have, what do we have, 9, 10 commissions? 10 now, commissions, so you can actually partner with all of them. You're talking about senior commission, which probably should be there somewhere, maybe this year, maybe next year, I don't know, but I'm just saying, you can really
How
overwhelm
about,
yourself.
if we say with the environmental commission and the other commissions as needed, or as appropriate, something like that?
Does the youth commission deal with playground?
No, well, not really, it depends on the playground. We haven't gotten to the playground, so there's, yeah, it's, once again, I think you're safe inserting environmental commission. The other commissions, but run it by council, see what their interest is, and remember, if you're talking about youth commission, you already mentioned senior commission, I mentioned senior commission, and you're already talking about environmental, but now you got 3 commissions, you've gotta have different, it's a workload. I would be cautious without council directing you, so.
I think that environmental might be smart because some of the decisions will be very hot. And to say like that is really something we're looking at.
Yeah.
The environmental is the
That's
expert.
important.
Yeah,
And we've had a lot of public comment
right.
in that arena.
Right.
Yes, all of it
Yeah.
exclusively.
So let's get it to the right commission.
That's perfect.
Would people consider making it not as specific and saying collaborate with appropriate commissions per the project?
Sure.
Whatever the project may be, because I can see how the historic commission might be important to certain projects as well. The youth commission, as it was mentioned, the senior, the environmental, we have quite a few. So I wonder if being a little less specific would be good. If anybody thinks that's okay.
I do, Teresa.
Okay.
Teresa, can you tell me the order or what's the order of people going? Because it's really hard for me to speaking there. Are you
Okay.
in order on the table and then?
I think it went to sort of an open discussion, but what would be good, Ellen, is do you have a hand, raise your hand
Yes.
icon? Okay, so you can raise your hand or even just pop in, but what we can do is we can come to you each time on each topic and say, okay, Ellen, what do you have to input on this?
Can I come in now? Because what
Yes,
I do is back up.
sure.
Separate the objective into 2 separate objectives instead of mushing it all together there. And so I've got some language here. So I'm just going to throw it out and you guys can tell me what you think. So for the objective A, I don't know if you want to put A or, do it, you could just be you know, a little circle or something.
Sure.
Identify ways to better use existing parks would be one. And then the second one would be, we've totally left this out. Um, I'm going to backtrack to the projects too. Wait a minute, I'm trying to find this. Identify new park spaces. Now, I don't know if you're going to approve this in the El Camino Real corridor and in other areas in need of green spaces. And I've used green spaces as a generic term because that would also include playgrounds. We're only talking about playgrounds so far, and we need parks for all ages, I believe. So I think we need to be careful and to that we're thinking about all Los Altos citizens. So those would be the two objectives. And then I've got projects, which is basically what is there, but I've just kind of identified it a little more. But I won't speak about that yet. Do you want to
Okay.
talk about that, the objectives?
Uh, yes, we can stop and talk about the objectives and see what other commissioners think of the idea of breaking it into two. Any other input from other commissioners?
Would be the problem. I wonder about the solution. It does say expansion in the goal, which is pretty clear. Could we
Okay, so
put
you think it's covered in the goal?
in projects, instead of saying regarding park upgrades and enhancements, what if we said regarding park upgrades, comma, enhancements, comma, and expansion? Something like that, so that we hit the word expansion twice.
No, I don't see expansions in there.
It's in the goal.
Yeah, it's in the goal, promotion and expansion of parks. So where are you saying to put it? It's Aaron that's speaking, correct?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron.
Under projects, we put upgrades, comma, enhancements, comma, and expansion. So that to hit Ellen's point, we say it twice. But we have such a nice symmetry in all our objectives right now with one objective, and we worked so hard on them. I personally don't really want to open the objectives, but I'm listening, so I'm trying to find a solution.
Okay, so thank you for that input. Does anybody else have a opinion on this?
I do. It's a little bit unrelated, going back to what I was saying earlier, but I think multiple members of the public have mentioned the environmental concerns for the new parks and playgrounds. And I'm wondering if it would be helpful to just insert that somewhere in the objective or project so that we can point to that when we're making these decisions, like this is, and we can inform the public that way, that we are listening to their comments.
Okay. So that brings it back to putting the word environmental in there, or the environment in there.
If we're going into the projects, if you're moving into that, I had a line about that if you want me to. Let's see. Evaluate existing parks to retrofit, repair, and renovate in collaboration with, this is too long probably, in collaboration with staff, with input from the public. And then you might want to put environmental or, other commissions that might help. And using natural materials, this is way too long, by the way, using natural materials and native plantings or something like that.
Okay.
That's all, you know, too wordy.
Yes, yes. Okay, back to other commissioners. Who didn't we hear from on this? I think Alexandra, Misty.
I know I spoke earlier, I do think having the environmental input or commission, it would be important because that is by far the largest public comment and that we've heard about the parks. I feel a bit uncomfortable going as specific to the El Camino Real Green City. That's kind of locking ourselves in to a very specific area. And I like having the main one objective, so that's where I'm coming from. I like your idea of doing the upgrades, enhancements, and expansion, because that kind of covers that as well. Yeah.
Okay, and collaborate with staff. We could say, and collaborate with staff and environmental commission. We could just put environmental commission right in there.
I actually liked the ideas that were proposed earlier of making sure that like we don't lock ourselves into just the environmental commission. And we can work with multiple commissions if the city council approves that. Or recommends that. I just wanted, yes, relevant commissions, but I do want the word environmental in there somewhere. It just doesn't necessarily have to like say environmental commission.
Would it be more, and I'm sorry to, you know, slap my wrist, but would that maybe go under ongoing community outreach? If you want to get the community feelings on environmental commissions into all of our projects?
I like that. That kind of is getting their feedback and then not necessarily putting it into practice. So. Or I think the way that it's worded right now, but I do agree that it's very.
Yeah, I'm just concerned that this is, you know, we got a very good email about it, and please tell me to be quiet if I'm talking too much, but we got a very good email about it, but we could have gotten that email about public art, or about recreation programs, or about cultural programming, and I just worry that it might be a little redundant to put in with community feedback under this one, whereas we should be thinking about it for all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, oh, no, I'm not saying that we should add community feedback to.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that we should include the word environmental because of community.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good word.
I think if we're looking at what I'm hearing people say is the environmental aspect of it, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to work with the environmental commission. It means that this is my thinking, that we want to have an eye on the environment, and then consulting the appropriate other commissions for any project, I think still works, where we don't lock ourselves into the environmental commission again, right? That's just the whole thing. I think if we lock that in there, we could have a problem with it. One, if the environmental commission doesn't have interest, doesn't have time, can't, you know, work with us on this. I think we can consult with them as needed, but consult with others as well too. So we can put the word environmental in there because yes, we want to have an eye on anything we're doing with regards to, I would say, the whole city, but particularly the park, since we're the commission that helps with that, is that we want to always have an eye on the environment as we're doing things. So what do people think of that?
Yeah.
So we can kind of tie this up.
Yes, I agree with you, Teresa.
So do we want to say, upgrades, okay, so Aaron suggested saying upgrades, comma, enhancements, and then bringing the word expansion back in, and expansion. Alternatively, and we can say, upgrades, enhancement, and enhancement, environmental impact.
We could do, I do not say we will evaluate the environmental impact. That is the gigantic statement.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so how do we then include
Yeah,
that word?
it's an open challenge.
Consider it.
I would, yeah, with an eye on or with consideration of working with appropriate commissions, even we can say such as the Environmental Commission. I mean, this is just a thought, or with always an eye on the environment. Yes,
Evaluate parks and collaborate with staff regarding park upgrades, enhancements and expansions while keeping an eye on environmental impacts or environmental
Maybe concern.
concerns.
Yeah.
Environmental
concerns.
That's
Yeah.
one. The second, we split the projects and there's a second project, more work, but second project, work with appropriate commissions while evaluating.
Yeah, it only has one and all the others have two, I mean, I could see. And that is a whole thing of work, to work with the other.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, one thing is you're gonna put stuff together to evaluate these things, keeping an eye on environmental issues, and then.
Right.
And then you may be able to knock those out in
Yeah,
one go. I'm just saying, it would probably be cleaner if you split that box.
that's.
Yeah.
perfect.
No,
I think
commissions-
that's,
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you all hear that online?
yes, I can. Ellen, can you?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, and it'll be typed in a minute. So, okay, let's give Casey a chance to type it up. But what I wanted to also ask is, do any of the commissioners have anything else that they want to talk about with this particular goal, objective, project?
You're talking about
The first one, yes.
I'm still feel strongly that you need to, I agree with a commissioner who said we should not identify specific areas for new green spaces. I agree with that. But I still think we need to expand upon this someplace in the objective or projects and say that we need to be identifying new areas that need green spaces because not all Los Altos has green spaces. And I'm saying again, green spaces,
Yes,
not everyone wants playgrounds.
sure. Anyone else want to comment on Ellen's comment there?
I mean, I'm not against it, at all. Is it something that you, Ellen, think that you want to work on personally?
Well, I actually have been trying to, but the problem is that the city can't seem to find spaces for some areas that need green spaces. So, anyway,
Okay,
I'm willing to work on that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
okay. Anyone else? Alexandra, Misty, Yvette?
yeah, I guess for me, I would need a lot more clarification and understanding on how green space is defined. Where, like, do we as a commission have the purview of that? I mean, if you say that the city itself finds difficulty in finding places that need green space, so I see that as a kind of a different topic than parks.
Well, you could put park if that feels better. Green space is just more generic. It could be a park, but what does a park mean to you? Is it just like a green space with vegetation, or is it a park, a playground? I mean, a park can mean a lot of things for different people. It can be like an English park with just walkways and benches and places for people to sit down, with trees and stuff, with green objects in it that are natural.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have an objection with if you want to call it something else. If you want to just say parks. But there are areas, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It sounds like you kind of identified an inequity in Los Altos. And that you're trying to build some visibility for that inequity.
Yeah.
And get traction with the city. And hoping that adding it to our projects will help with that traction. But maybe we can help, first of all, with them seeing the inequity and the problems with the inequity before they buy on. I mean, it just might be biting off more than a year's worth of work to go right to identifying the green space.
But wasn't that the goal of the Park Commission originally? I'm a little confused. No? Teresa, maybe you can answer that.
Okay,
Can I
um,
suggest, just to move this along, we're spending a lot of time on this one line. Why don't, as commissioners, once again, and I know we haven't gotten into it, we'll talk more about it when that item comes up. But at the joint meeting, you can discuss this with council. Council may be interested in that as well. So I would really, and we are still going to approve this work plan when it's done, and council may have other ads too, so please don't forget that. So as much work as you're giving yourself here, you think it's manageable, it may not be when you get out of council, and they may strike us some things as well. So I would suggest something like this, especially with the potential that it could be an issue, especially a commissioner working on adding a park in an area that they live close to. I would suggest that you run it by council first.
Okay.
That would-
I do, if everybody else is done with comments, if the other commissioners are done with the comments on the goal, objective, and projects and are happy with what they see, I actually have a couple comments too. And so I thought that having promotion and expansion of parks as the goal was a great goal. I do recall, but I wasn't able to go back and listen to our last meeting about this. I recall that one of our goals was to actually identify additional park space, not just evaluate it, but to actually try to identify it. And because I remember an exchange that I had with Director Hernandez about that, because we have tried to do that in the past. But I agree that it would be nice for us to work on trying to find additional park space. And again, I believe that was discussed in our last meeting, November 17th. So I would like to see us put something in this objective. I feel like the goal is clear. Promotion and expansion of parks. Yes, we've got that. So for me, expansion means expansion, like looking for other spaces. And I think that's missing in the objective and the project. So we have identified projects that can help with the use and appreciation of Los Altos parks. But I mean, is that really the goal, is to try and get more people to use the parks? I guess, yes, it would be, but is it also to find space for more parks if we can? And I think that is one of the goals of the Park, Art, Recreation, and Cultural Commission, and it's in our booklet also to do that. So I'd like to see that put in somewhere under objective project, something. I think we are lacking that. And then I agree, I do think we need to make sure that we have a public process. For example, it was a while ago, but Shout Park was going to have a whole process where we were going to have public meetings and people could come vote on the features that they liked of the park. I think we've moved past that. That was with the former director, but I think it would be good for us to have that process back in our park meetings, that everything comes to us and then the public has a place to come and talk to us about it. It saves the commission. I mean, it saves the city council a lot of time if we do that as well, because they don't have as many people coming to their meetings. So I don't know how people feel about that.
It sounds good, great to me, Teresa, getting
Okay.
more involved. Yeah.
Okay. So any of the other commissioners, what do you think? I mean, it doesn't have to be a huge add to this, but I think we're missing the expansion part.
I agree. What if you put into the objective, identify projects that can, instead of saying help with, they expand the use and appreciation of Los Altos parks hyphen existing and new, things like that. So
I think that's
identify-
okay.
Do you want to hear it again?
I'm having trouble with the word identify, but yes, I'm happy to hear again, or Casey's typing it in and
Can it just be separated into two different bullet points? That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how other people feel. I feel strongly, we've got these nice objective statements for each one. Some of them are complicated further down as well.
Mhm.
so I think that was discussed that people wanted to try and keep it as it is, with one objective. I understand, Ellen, the desire to do two, and I actually think it's nice to break it up into two, even if it's to identify new park spaces as a specific task. And that does make sense because could be one or two people's assignment, right, for the year to be able to go out and try and do that. And then come back to the commission and say, look, we found these places. But we can still do it within this one objective too. I think it may be a lot to add on to this one objective. So it's still an objective that says to expand the use and appreciation of Los Altos parks. We're still missing trying to find additional park space.
Or you can just do a long sentence. It doesn't have to be two separate.
So under the first project, it says evaluate parks and collaborate with staff regarding park upgrades, enhancements, and expansions with an eye on environmental concerns. So we're missing that expansion part under the objective. That, trying to expand our parks in some way, either more land or some way that we can add on to a park. Who knows? I'm just throwing out that idea of add on. So can we get that into the objective?
Yeah, I think that
So
would be a good idea.
the word expand has been, maybe you didn't catch it yet, but the objective now says the word expand.
Mhm.
Yes, and when I read it, it's identify projects that can expand the use. So we don't want to just expand the use, we want to try to expand our parks.
So just put a second bullet point under projects, identify new areas in need of new parks. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it where we go identify projects that can
It also
expand
says-
parks and the use.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new right there.
It says new and expand.
There's gotta be another word we can add, like a verb that's just like expand and establish.
Acquire, identify
acquire.
projects that can expand and acquire park space and use.
That means buying, right?
Feel about that, because acquire has the connotation of purchasing.
Yeah, there's sort of multiple goals here, right?
Yeah.
One is to make us, like, to define what we want to do, and then another is to like make sure that it's approved.
Right.
So I think we're trying to hit the happy middle on this. Right today, we spent maybe 30 minutes talking about this, which is great, but we also are gonna have a meeting where we want this approved, and if this is the sticky point, it could be that this objective also takes the majority of the time with council, and we want to be able to move on, so we should be careful how we land it, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So how about identify projects that can expand parks, the use and appreciation of Los Altos parks? Or just that, I mean, that would put that in there so it leaves us room in case we can come up with a creative way to acquire more park space.
Well, we do
Does
say
it-
the word, so use is like people walking around parks.
Yes,
And then
exactly.
some of those parks can be new, because we say the word new and existing. So we can expand the use in existing parks, or we can expand the use in new parks.
I'm still having trouble with that part of it. So let's just put a vote to it and see. So I'm proposing that we write identify projects that can expand parks, the use and appreciation in Los Altos. Something like that.
like parks, their use and their appreciation. But, I don't know.
I would put an "and" in there that can expand parks and, I'm looking at the captions, and, whoops, I forgot what you said. Expand parks and the appreciation and use is what you said, Teresa? I would just put "and," A-N-D.
Oh, yeah, and.
Casey, would you mind just writing it below the other
Yeah.
statements so that we can see them both? Just not editing that one, but writing the new statement below it so that we can see them both and then see which one was better.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it a new page.
Well, maybe you could just write it right below it for right now, because we're gonna delete one of them, so it'll be messy for a second. And then
I think, yeah, I think not Ellen, sorry. Erin's suggesting in that box, just write it again.
I'm just gonna put a whole row above.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm sorry.
Expand
Yeah.
park. So identify projects that expand. I don't even think we have to say that can, but expand parks, the comma, and the use and appreciation.
Yeah. You want to say existing and the use and appreciation of existing Los Altos parks? Oh, no, you already have new and existing, or,
Well, yeah, you could put it in there. The and appreciation of existing.
yeah, identify projects that expand new parks and the use and appreciation of existing parks. Do you need Los Altos in there?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, you delete Los Altos, not needed.
Right,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So how do people feel about that? We could say potentially expand. I think it would have to say 2 new parks and the use. I don't, because I think if we say we're doing it, it could get us in trouble. But if we potentially, right, work on that.
Well,
Do you
which, go ahead.
If we're gonna word this, sorry, but do you want to say increase green space? Do you, like, because expand parks, I know, I'm sorry, expand parks has this, like, the parks are getting bigger, yeah, go ahead.
Going back to
That's-
the original that
yeah.
we worked on last meeting, identify projects that can help with the use and appreciation of Los Altos parks. And the potential for added park space.
Yes, fine, perfect.
Yes.
The park space is just
Yeah.
green space, it's open space, it's parks.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
we're
don't need to put green space.
Just adding that part. Yes, park space.
Yes.
There we go. Perfect. Thanks,
Park,
Director
not-
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Okay. So that
I mean,
simplifies it, not
yeah.
really.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Or you
perfect.
put new space.
Does everybody feel good about that? Okay, hold on. Does everybody feel good about that objective?
How about the potential for new space, new park space, or added, new park space? You want to
It's
just,
on there. It says, and the
Okay.
potential for added park space. So that covers new, or if we can grow another park in some way, which would be amazing, that we could do that too.
actually, that's a good way to put it, Teresa.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, there might be a house that's right next door and we can acquire the space when someone sells it or something. So then under projects, we might be missing that part of it, of the objective. So we have the evaluate and collaborate with staff. We have the work with appropriate commissions. We don't have the expansion, an expansion with an eye on an expansion. While keeping an eye on environmental concerns, could we do that instead of with, while keeping an eye? Would people be all right with that?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Sounds good.
It's still very hard to read the screen. Can you make the whole window bigger and then? Can probably just, well, we're all like, you know, like, hide that. Yeah, we can all, yeah, that's true.
The good part of you moving is in the recording's even better for everybody, including us. Okay. So we'll close this one out once you all get closer and can see what it says.
Do we need to put public input or is that a given? Is it always public input?
It's not a given.
So maybe we need more public input. I mean, that's been a concern, hasn't it been from the public?
Mhm. Director Hernandez, could I ask you a question about that?
But yeah, what is the question about public input? Because you as a commission are the public input, you're here and your meetings are public input, so it's a given, really.
Well,
What question, are you trying to add it to your work plan?
I think that what the discussion is, the comment is that, and as I said, we used to have that, like even Shout Park, where we were going to have public meetings where we actually had the designer, and we would have meetings where people would come and they would vote on which features they wanted in the park. And I think we've shifted from that in recent couple years. And I'm wondering if we are going to get back to that idea or how we're going to be getting public input on the parks for people to be able to come say, yeah, I don't want that swing, or even us, I don't want that swing, I'd like that slide, or, so that people have more say in what's going on in the parks in the
Yeah.
city.
Yes, that goes on now, except please keep in mind that all projects are not gonna be designed by the public. Not gonna be designed by the commission either. So that public input is just that, it's input, it's not design process. So, but part of the public process is that public will provide input. You will see, as an example, once we get the designer on contract, because they won't work for free before they get the contract. Once we get them on contract, the designer of our 2 new playgrounds that are gonna go in they have proposals on the table right now. So if they get the contract approved, they will come in, or they will send information in that will be in front of this commission for public input at that time.
Okay, great. So is that going to be the process similar so that we can maybe make sure the commissioners understand this, because we have all new commissioners? Is it going to be similar to the adult fitness and perhaps the dog park, where we had the designs come forward and everybody looked at them on the commission and said yes, no, blah, blah, blah?
No, those two, you just named 2 projects that are distinctly different. So one is bringing let's take about I hate to take up the timing over this, but I'm trying to.
Adult
explain it.
fitness?
The adult fitness was one process, that's the process, it's not a change of use at a park. Whenever there's a change of use, that process is different. It's a
Okay.
distinct public input process, such as the
Okay.
dog. Okay?
Great. All right, thank you. I was speaking, by the way, of the dog park once the design was created. Okay. Okay, great. So are people comfortable with the first part of the plan, the work plan?
Yeah.
Commissioners?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
everybody? Okay, so nobody opposes that first part. All right, let's go to the second part. So promotion and expansion of public art, and the goal is that, and then I'm sorry, I forgot the little title things. And then the next is objective, leverage resources to complete regular support programs and expand public art projects. And then we have the projects themselves. So how do people feel about this? Anyone? Are we happy with it? Do we need to change it?
Well, I thought this part was really well done.
Yeah, also very detailed.
It's very
Yeah, it's
detailed,
detailed, it's easy to
so accomplished.
volunteer and
Yeah.
say, because then you can understand exactly what's expected of you.
Thought it looks great.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, anybody else have any edits or comments for this?
Nope.
Okay, I have 2 things. The create partnership with Arts Los Altos for programming and displays. I think that locks us into just collaborating with them. And I'd like to see us be able to collaborate with others. And That was last year's work plan. Also, the partnership with Arts Los Altos. I'm fine bringing it forward, but I'd like to see us maybe collaborate with other arts groups if it's available and advisable. So I don't know how people feel about that, but I'd like it to be bigger than what we have.
Can you just say with other arts groups? Do you have to say Arts Los Altos? Can't you just say with other arts groups? Or do you,
I think, yeah, go ahead.
oh, me? Ellen?
No, somebody else had a comment. Sorry, Ellen, I gotcha.
Wanted to say local organizations so that it's sort of like a catch-all for anybody that we would want to work with.
Yes, and I would say it would, instead of creating, it might be explore partnerships.
Yeah, that's good.
So, I have a question, just, do we have to get to have blank columns on this sheet?
Yes,
So what's the outlines for our time?
That's gonna be assigned by
we'll be talking.
No, I meant for tonight's meeting, like,
Oh.
when do we get to the blank part?
When we're done with this work.
Okay,
No.
So we're gonna go back.
oh, okay. All right, so we're going down the projects row and then we're gonna do the other
Yeah.
side.
We want to assign things
But we don't know what. they
if,
look like.
if they're not going to be
Now we know what.
the actual objectives or the actual project.
So can I chair, may I to help you out?
Yes,
Once again, if you, most of this commission does not remember the,
Right.
council desire for this commission to partner with Arts Los Altos.
Yes.
That I recommended at our last meeting, that is a good idea to include, and it was included here. Looking, once again, I want to go back to what the objective of this work plan is to make it accomplishable. Is that
Yes.
something you're willing to spend the time to look for any other art organizations that I don't think became identified here at this table tonight? We might want to stick to just the Arts Los Altos. That's just a suggestion based on last year's interaction with council.
And I don't think how worded prohibits us from,
Absolutely does not,
you know.
but it doesn't make it something that council's expecting to be accomplished next year.
Okay, so can we put the word potential in there? Because we've had some sticking spots on this, and so I'd like to see us be able to move ahead with a project with them. But I also, don't want it to be that it's an absolute, because if it's a little bit sticky, I think they may or may not want to collaborate with us. We need to figure that out. We didn't get it done last year, so I think, if we're going to trip on some things, I'd like to see if we can actually manage this. And they don't want to lock us into creating that partnership if it's not something that's doable. So, I mean, even continue meeting with Arts Los Altos for potential partnership on a project would be fine too, because I think it's a project, right? Not a partnership. It's not like we're going to become partners with them. We're going to, partner on a project. Yes, I think that's great. If everybody else is okay with that. Okay. And then the other explore joint guide and update the public art listing brochure. So that's another Arts Los Altos specific piece. So I don't know if we have to have that listed out separately or not. I mean, I'm fine leaving it in there. I just don't know that it has to be separate from the collaboration with Arts Los Altos.
Yeah, it's got a pretty general word at the beginning. The explore could be, we call them up and say, what do you guys think about this?
Okay, we can leave it as is. That's fine. It's more too, because it has to do with using our seal, the city seal and everything. So there's a little bit more to it, but we can, again, it's an exploration. Okay. And then the select call for art and artists for Art Without Walls program, and then evaluate and recommend public art for maintenance and replacement needs. I think those are all good. Is everybody okay with those?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's move on to promotion and expansion of recreation programs. I always think of this as we do whatever, we help staff with however they want us to help them. So table at summer concert, host a project room at Family Fun Day, select the movie for the host Halloween. We host and host that Halloween movie night, and then assist the staff with spring egg hunt. Anybody have any comments on that? I know you all knew.
It's a summer concert series.
Yeah.
Correct, so should we make that plural?
I. Oh. I think we didn't, at the time, didn't wanna lock you into being at all of the
All of
summer
them, yeah.
concerts.
So,
Or if we say a series,
so you did show up to the summer concerts, you showed up for 1 or 2. You didn't
Right.
show up for the whole city.
there, yeah.
Oh,
there's
that's
a lot of, there are,
Yes.
Could and could that be at staff's direction? Would that be good?
Yeah.
Because it's typically when they want us there, or
Well,
it can be.
Yeah, Terry, not Terry, Teresa, I am so sorry.
Yes, it's okay.
Later right now, sorry. Yeah, Teresa, if I might share, Morris, if I might, if you remember, in the past, council is opening all of those concerts. But not all commissioners can make it all the time.
Right. Okay.
So
We can leave it as is.
requesting, yeah, it'll be open.
Okay. It seems to me that the spring egg hunt, I think we're missing. Are we missing anything in that? Is there no other? I mean, we have the 4th of July also. Is that considered the summer concert? But usually we help with the 4th of July too.
No, we have that as an event in our department, but we don't expect the general public to volunteer at something like that on a holiday. So.
Oh, okay.
That's optional. That's always
you
optional.
can always volunteer.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can always-
I always do. That's why I was thinking about it, I think. So there's nothing else we're missing for the volunteering other than the spring egg hunt.
Not major events that we currently have scheduled. No.
Okay, great. If everybody's all right with that, we can move on. Is everybody okay with that last one as is?
Yeah.
Okay. And that one part, when we get to assigning, but it's we've hosted projects. We just started that last year for the Family Fun Days, and it's very fun. We can talk about it later if somebody wants to volunteer for it. Okay, so a promotion and expansion of cultural programming. Look for and be involved in programs that expand the cultural opportunities for the community. That all sounds great. And then we have the continued partnerships with Mala, Justice Vanguard, and the Chinese Association. And anybody have any comment on that? The explore additional cultural events, explore a multicultural event with a focus, and then winter cultural concert series. Anybody have anything they want to add to that? Are you comfortable with this?
I just wanted to confirm, based on our last meeting, that city council wants us to keep Mala, Justice Vanguard, and Chinese Association specifically in this. I mean, there are
So we
several-
can ask them. Let's ask them that. If they want us to spell out specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Is
from
that
a-
what you're saying?
Yeah.
From a
Mhm.
staff standpoint, they're gonna be part of our program. They are.
Uh-huh.
We have stuff scheduled for them the next year. So they're part of our program. It's just a matter of if this commission wants to tell council, hey, we're getting involved as well. That's all.
But there are others too, right? There are other.
There's other things that staff is
that-
looking to bring in, and if commission has any leads on that, we're welcome to listen to that and to try to schedule things like that. Once again, though, it depends on the time of year. Sometimes these things overlap and they don't always fit on certain dates. holidays.
So we're naming these because they're existing,
They're
but
existing.
we're not naming like the Latino organization or
No.
other.
And these are the only existing ones?
These are the currently existing ones, but we're always looking for more.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's-
Could we put the word current partnerships? I think that might help. So continue current partnerships with Mala. Okay, great. That might be great because right below it, we have explore additional cultural events. So that opens it up for the commissioners, for all of us to be able to do more.
Yeah.
Does that feel okay to everybody?
Yeah, well, that's better.
That's great. Okay, great. Let's move along then. Okay, so ongoing community outreach, gather public feedback within and with outside of regular commission meetings, and then table at the farmers market for public input on upcoming projects and explore partnership for self-guided art tour. Okay. Does anybody have any comments on this one? I'm not hearing anything. Would anybody be interested in having potential pop-up art event where we might host an event? The art commission did rock painting one time. It was really popular. Maybe they did that twice. And I have a whole list of other potential pop-ups that could be fun to do. And it's a nice way to gather more public feedback because you get to chat with people. I think we have some baseball sleeves still that could be decorated if we wanted to do something like that, or athletic sleeves. So would anybody be interested in that? Making sure we have some sort of pop-up event.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Would that also include murals or not?
No, I mean, it could, but I think that would fall higher up in the art section that we have. I think that naturally would be in there as we try to expand our art. So I think we're covered on that.
Could we do that at the table at the farmer's market or the family fun day? Do we need to like list it separate, do you think?
Well, I mean, I just like it because it's fun. We don't have to do it, but it's been a fun thing. It's fine. We can just have a project at the farmers market, just like you said. We can also simply do the family fun day room that we do. The thing with the family fun day is you do get adults and you get children. We have a couple seniors that come in too on a regular basis. So it's fine. If nobody wants to see a pop-up idea, it's just a more relaxed way to be able to get feedback from people.
I love that idea. I think it'd be a great draw at the farmer's market to get more people for public input.
Okay,
Well-
so go ahead.
How do you define pop-up art? What?
That we would set up a project somewhere within the city at the community center in a park that, we would promote it. We would have to promote it too, and get people there to just work on whatever we decide we want to work on. But we can do it at a farmer's market, and we can brainstorm on that and come up with ideas. Do we want to spell it out with a project or, table farmers market for public input on upcoming projects, including potential art projects or?
Yeah, I think it'd be lovely at the farmer's market. I think there's ways you could involve the vendors if we wanted to, as well. But if you want to list it separate, I'm not opposed to it.
Okay.
I don't need a longer discussion. Like if you really want another, I'm not opposed at all to pop-up art events.
I think it would increase outreach if we want to add that into the project at some point. I think it would attract a lot of people. So if we want to spell that out, we could add that, but tabling and standing.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I don't need to add it in. That's fine. We can leave it as is, and then we can just do the art projects there.
That's such a cool idea. I love that.
Okay. And if we decide we have more time, we can always ask to do it. Okay, so on to the fun part, our assignments. Or do we want to do anticipated completion for these? Or do we want to do assignments first because people have to assign themselves to this and then have an idea how long they think it'll take?
I have a clarifying question on what priority source means.
It's, priority source is based on council's priorities, which they don't have.
Yeah,
They
so,
have-
okay, we don't have that.
Yeah, we
Okay,
don't have
what we can do is anticipated completion, which staff will help you with. Because some of them are already outlined based on our programming needs. And then the assignment, which you all would agree on. 2 people are working on this, 1 person is working on this. I find this one particularly interesting. So those can be done kind of at the same time, which is why I'm gonna show the project specifically, and then those columns.
Great. Thank you, Casey, for that. Makes sense. Okay.
Not spell anyone's last name.
And I agree with Teresa that it might be great to assign it to somebody first and then they would figure out their own timeline, or it would at least give people a better idea.
It sounds like if we don't get through the timelines tonight, we could at least have your help.
We're not gonna get through the time.
Filling it in after the
Yeah.
meeting.
But I mean,
Not the-
there are,
you know, we can-
there are certain things like the Winter Cultural Concert Series that is completely new, completely unplanned, so there's needs to be more thought that we have time at this meeting to schedule. So that's an example.
Okay. So did we decide, I'm sorry, if we're doing 2 at the same time, anticipated completion or assignment of the people or person?
Would you guys be okay with starting?
Yeah, let's do assignment.
Okay, let's do it. So
Good.
jump in and say what you want to do. Anybody have the want to take on, evaluate parks and collaborate with staff regarding park upgrades, enhancements, and expansion while keeping an eye on environmental concerns?
Yeah, I'd be interested in that first whole category. I don't know if I can do the whole thing, but yeah.
Put me down to.
How many people are allowed to help with?
Two. We wanna start. with this.
2, so we don't have a issue with
So if someone is
majority.
really,
Oh, it's touch screen.
And I think anticipated completion is gonna need most of the year. If you have to evaluate parks.
You'll be able to see it,
Right, thank you.
because I can see it, but that wasn't helpful.
There is one aspect of this is that we all will be doing this if staff brings us upgrades and enhancements and so on that we're going to be giving opinions on. So it'll be a commission-wide project in addition to this, you 2 specifically.
Okay.
So anticipated completion, Ellen said probably the end of the year, of this working year. And how does that feel? Was it Aaron? Yeah, Aaron, that for you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, but I think it'd be great if we stuck to assignments for right now, and then we.
Okay. I mean, either way, I was thinking we're here, we can do it, but that's fine. We can go with assignments. Okay.
I can, that's part of working with appropriate commission. I'd like to do that.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't know who was speaking.
Oh, Alexandra, that was.
I still missed it.
Alexandra.
Okay, thank you.
I was considering, working on expansion of parks too. But I don't know if you want me on both.
You can be on both. If you can do it, you can be on both.
Good continuity.
It is. Okay, so continue exploring collaboration with Arts Los Altos. I will put my name on there since I was on it last time. And anybody who wants to work with me. Oh, good. Okay. All right, we got 2. All right. Select theme and hang art. That's all of us.
No,
It
we
is,
need
but
somebody in charge
we
of
need
it.
to have someone that's the point
Yes.
person.
All of these need a point person, we prefer.
Oh, they do?
Previously, Teresa, this was Terry.
Oh,
So
I'm
anyone can come and volunteer, anyone can come
Right.
and help. Staff
Got
them, but the point
I'm
person.
fine to take this as mine. But we will select the theme as a commission.
Yes, Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. All right. So the hanging part, that's fine. I've done it. I can help with that. Unless somebody else wants it. Does anybody else want to take that on?
If so, you might.
I'm totally cool with it. It's pretty easy and fun. Okay, cool. All right. Explore a joint guide and update public art listing and brochure annually.
I can see that one.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
interested in-
Okay. Great. And then select call for art and artists for Art Without Walls program. I would have said full commission. So, but we have to have a point person, you said?
I can do that. Interesting. With staff help, guidance.
You're gonna work closely with staff on that.
Yeah.
Those are $100,000 projects.
Yeah.
You need to work with staff.
If you need two people, I could do that.
I'd be interested in doing that unless oh, Stout. Okay, great. Go ahead. Good. Yay. Okay, great. And then evaluate and recommend public art for maintenance and or replacement needs. Go ahead. Anybody want to take that on?
If I'm doing the guide anyway, I might as well. Just because I'd have to go to all of the different ones anyway.
Right. And we actually have some information from the former art commission, so you don't have to reevaluate the wheel on this one. There's a whole list of all the different art and the state of repair and so on for that. So that will be helpful, I think. Is anybody else taking that on?
I mean, I'll be back. I'm not sure I want my. I'll be back up, you know, if you feel like this is a bigger project than a one-person project, but sometimes a committee can be more work than just having one person do it. Yeah, yeah.
So, Alexandra, would it be helpful for if I worked with you on that and we collaborated and got the information from the past commissioners jointly?
I think that would be very, very helpful. Like, yeah.
Okay, great. So I'll put my name on there to see if we can make this easier. Okay. Table at summer concert. Who wants to take that on as
I was gonna say, is there any way that we can get one or two people, sorry, the same people all the way down that for all our projects? Because it'll just be the same information. Here's why I say that, and I thought about this, is one of my staff members runs the summer concerts, but somebody different runs the family fun series. And rather than, oh, you've gotta go to Commissioner Stout, you've gotta go to Commissioner Nguyen, and you've gotta go for different events, if we can have the same two, oh, either Commissioner Stout or Nguyen, no matter who in our project, if that's possible. Doesn't matter which two people, I just would like that all the way down for those programs. They're just the point people.
Just have such, I can't do all of them because I might, because like,
That's what I'm saying.
and I'm very partial to spring eggplant. Can you use like a third person?
Sure,
Spring
no, let's put
eggplant?
three then, that's
Yeah,
fine,
okay.
just as backup, I
Yeah.
just don't wanna be sending them to different people for
Yeah.
different projects. Or
So am I
programs.
putting all three?
No, please don't put
No.
me, I can't.
You just want only for that.
Yeah, I can't, I won't even be here for this.
You don't want to be funny.
does every oh sorry do all the commissioners understand to maybe if we explain this, so table at summer concert, host a project room at family fun day, select the movie, assist park and rec. These are things that you would be sort of the lead on it. That doesn't mean you're responsible to be there necessarily. I mean, it is nice if you're the point person or persons for you to be there, but it's also one of those things where you organize us. So you say, all right, we're going to table at the summer con series. This is what we have to put on the table. So it's that kind of a thing. And even if you go, but I can't be at this concert, you can make sure that other people are at the concert. Right? Does that make sense? So it's not all falling on your shoulders that you have to be there. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so like host a project room at the Family Fun Day. That's something where you can come up with the project, right? And you can even bring forth ideas to the commission, which is a nice idea, and get the vote. And then you can say, okay, now I need people to volunteer for it. So
just know it's not all you guys doing all of this. Okay. All right. And then continue current partnerships with Mala.
For this category, is it important to have the same people all the way down, or can this be different?
This can be
also?
different.
Okay.
Because these are, those three up there, the
Mhm.
Mala, Justice Vanguard and China Association events, probably the same person, doesn't have.
Mm.
They're also well established.
They're-
They're.
Yes.
If they need anything
Mhm.
and how you can help.
Mm.
I'd like to
Yeah,
have
they
some-
tell us.
Yeah, they tell us. And sometimes it's a phone call, it's like, how can we help? They're like, volunteer like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the simple as that, so.
I'd like to.
That was Justice Vanguard, was just volunteer last year.
The next one too,
Yeah, the additional cultural event.
And can I do a second on that?
on both of them,
No, on the additional cultural
on the
events
additional.
and the multicultural event next. That'll be good.
And I'd like to, oh, go ahead.
I'll be the
Go ahead.
second on, and then I'll be the fifth on the next one down, the winter cultural.
Okay, you'll be the second on explore.
Yeah.
multiple events?
And then I'll be the next one.
And then the winter cultural concert series, I think that was Erin, was that right or no?
Yeah.
She's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have-
I'm sorry, I can't see it on the screen. That's the problem. Okay. So do we want to have people look back and make sure that we've signed up for is okay? Oh, I'm sorry, we have two more. I'm sorry. Table at Farmers Market. Anybody want to take that on?
But how often do you guys have a table?
Twice.
Okay, I'm off.
2 times.
I'll help.
What's this one?
Okay. Explore partnership for self-guided art tour.
One person.
I'm fine doing that. If
Okay.
anybody else, unless
that.
other people want to do it.
Oh, never mind.
Anybody else want to join on that? Okay.
I feel like that's, on the last one.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. Good. All right, now we need to go up and do our times.
I think that you can work on those later, correct?
Yeah, let me,
Before.
I've got to see what this is because we want to do this at a meeting though, too. I would say I think we have what we need for the commission joint meeting, council meeting. I would leave it as is for now. I can fill in
Okay.
a lot of these dates, but definitely not all of them, because it really depends. Some of these things, especially new programming, I'm gonna have to work with the commissioners that are assigned to. To say,
Okay.
hey, what is up to you and what does your schedule look like? Because if we're putting a new program such as the winter concert series in November and you're planning on being out of town all of November for the holidays, we've got an issue. So those are type of things that I just want to get over with the commissioners. Half of the stuff I can fill in between now. I don't have all the dates right in front of me, but I can get that tomorrow. So let me do that. That will be our approved draft that will go to council at that point. Council may add, may change, may say you're doing way too much. And say,
Yeah.
all this stuff off. And then once that's final, I'll add the dates and work with you to get those dates for completion at the next meeting. Okay?
Okay, that sounds good. And I have noted two questions that we have for the council. So so one is collaborate with commissions, include public and and it would be to spell out the commissions. And then the other is, do they want us to spell out Mala, Justice Vanguard? I think Director Hernandez addressed that, but just in case if we need to ask that question. Okay. So with all of this done on the work plan, is everybody happy? Does anybody have anything they want to change or add at this point, or are we good?
Good.
Okay. Okay, great. Let's move on then. I think
Okay.
oh, sorry. Oh, we have to vote?
Yes, go ahead.
Because I didn't anticipate taking 4 in a row from the one section that you
Yeah.
preferred to. So because of that, I'm a little bit hesitant and also taking on the call for arts. Because that sounded like that was like a beefier thing in case anybody else.
Yeah, no, I was
Which
actually
part
thinking the
is-
same,
I'm really thinking the same thing.
because I didn't know that we were gonna do all four of them.
Yeah, I was only
Yeah.
gonna do the summer concerts versus all
Yeah.
four.
There's two of you on all four of them, right?
I know,
Yeah.
so I would like to see if anyone else would like to do the call for art.
Same here.
Which one's the call for art?
It's a right up here, it's,
Call for art
select
and
call for art
artists.
and artists for art without walls.
Oh, it's the same too.
Yep, and it
Yeah.
happens to be the same two that
Yeah,
are doing all of the.
Let call for art.
yeah.
Director Hernandez, can you explain that for us
Which part?
more
The-
clearly? The select call for art and artists for art without walls program. Can you explain exactly what that entails?
No, that's the big, that's the.
Who's doing the hanging? Or where's the hanging?
That's a different one, that's in the community center, that's Morris, that's just.
I think these were like the
These are
100K pieces. that
That
we
is
did.
big hundred days, it's the big deal.
Yeah, you may not even do that this year.
I just went big.
I know.
That one, that is- Okay.
They haven't done
Okay.
What's gonna happen, this works in tandem with the evaluate and recommend public art for maintenance and replacement needs, okay?
Okay.
So.
All right.
I would recommend is the same person, because once, who is it, Nguyen and Morris?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once valuation is done and pieces are saying, okay, these need to be returned, and guess what? You're gonna run into a lot of concrete pads that are empty. because
We
the
are.
water is here. So when you see
Okay.
that, that's gonna be, okay, we need to do a call for art, and then that's.
Okay.
Call for art, stuff like
That
that.
should be the same.
You.
So
can
we're
only
going to inventory. We have to inventory what we need and do a call for art. Is that right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that's what, preparing the call for art. Selecting the pieces, that's a whole commission thing.
That's a whole commission. Okay, so I'm fine on there. Okay, that's great. Good. We have that consistency then. Perfect.
I let that slip that.
Phew. Okay. Everything else okay for people before we move on? Because you do need to make sure you can do them. And if you can't, you just ask for help, right? It's not, you just say, okay, I need some help with this. We're a commission that should work as a team. Not should, but get to work as a team. Okay, so we're okay?
You have a motion to approve
Okay.
this new work plan.
I move to approve it.
I second.
And
Someone's everywhere.
I'll call for a vote then.
Okay. We have Chair Morris,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nguyen.
Yes.
Commissioner Stout,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangani,
Yes.
Commissioner Dolich,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald. Yes. That passes unanimously.
Great. Thank you. All right, so that takes us to our next item, item number 3, which is the joint meeting preparation. And this is one that Director Hernandez is most likely going to explain to us. And it's to prepare for our meeting with the city council to discuss the work plan we just came up with.
Thank you, Chair Morris. Yes, so what I can do here is, rather than a report, I'm just going to explain what to expect. And this may change, I think, but really what to expect walking into the room of council for this joint meeting. So council is going to, now that this has been approved, we will finish the final cleanup of everything and format it. We will send it to the city clerk for distribution to the city council. Our meeting actually has been changed. So that's the first thing I want to address and make this known. So the date was originally scheduled for, in the report, was the 10th.
Yeah.
It would have been the first meeting in February. It has now been pushed back to the 24th.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're talking the 24th of February.
Yes, actually, 2 weeks later, it will be the 24th of February. That will be
Okay.
before the council meeting. But I don't have an exact time to show up yet.
Okay.
Ish 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Between 5:30 and 6,
Okay.
they will call us in. to meet there. You will have approximately, at least as of last year, 15 minutes to speak with council. Okay? They could expand it to 20 to 30. I've never seen the commission joint meetings used to be as long as 40 minutes, but right now they want to get to the point, they have time to digest your work plan. They will have pointed questions for you. You will have hopefully prepared some questions, which that's what this part of the meeting is for, is to get some questions to the chair to bring that out, or at least for the chair to say, oh, there is a question from, you know, Commissioner Sangani. So something like that, and then you would ask it at that point. So we want to be very expeditious on this, as
Yeah.
far as count the questions, but it should be pretty straightforward with council. Council will say, and sometimes in regular cases, council will say, let's talk about your accomplishments last year. This is almost an entirely new commission. I really don't think they're gonna go over that, because you all are so new to this commission. So I can explain that, I'll be in the audience. If they happen to ask that, I doubt it very much. They're probably gonna say, we saw your work plan, we think that it looks great. How about you add this? And I guarantee that's in some form, one of the council members will say, how about you add this? Have you thought of anything like that? I can tell you right now, you did, from my experience with this as a commission, I think you all have done a great job of putting this together. It's a really good, succinct work plan. I think people will love it, okay? They may, like I said, they may make the comment that, oh, you got a lot, you think you can do it. So that's probably what's coming out of it. So ask your questions. They will make suggestions and ask questions of you, and 15 minutes later, that should be it, okay? Once again, that's how it went last year. That's how I was told it was gonna go. It was gonna stay the same format as last year. So that's why I say they're gonna call you in 5:30 or 6 o'clock, because they need to get through 4 commissions in that hour that they're doing. So then they'll be ready for the council meeting, which starts at 7 o'clock.
So does Chair Morris kind of take the lead in presenting the work plan, or do we all kind of do our section, or how does?
Yes,
how does that begin?
Thank you. Yes, that's a good question of how we're gonna go ahead and present. It really depends. We had something set up. Chair Morris, were you the chair when we did it that one year and you and I prepped a whole intro, or was that the other chair?
No, it wasn't me.
Okay.
I hadn't been chair since before you took the position you're in now.
So
This will be our first.
Yeah, the previous chair, it was, Chair Valadez. I remember, preparing a whole, okay, you're gonna sit down, and she had a little written script there, but she actually sat down at the table and council jumped in and said, okay. And they just dove right into the work plan. So I don't know how much of a script I'll work with Chair Morris on, but that used to be the way it was, is the chair will sit down and say, okay, we've devised this work plan with our focus on these 5 areas. What does council think? It'll be that short, really.
Okay.
Sometimes council will just jump in and say, oh, we think this, and whatever. It's up to council, that they can actually discuss whatever they want, really. So, so Chair Morris and I will talk about an intro, but it'll be rich. And that's how it
Yes.
starts. And then the questions back and forth, they'll at some point, if you haven't had time to interject, the questions that maybe you have or prepared tonight, council will say, do you have any other questions for us? That's when it'll come out. So I expect that's how it will go. So, okay.
And it needs to be brief. So can't stress that enough. 15 minutes, it goes by very fast. And they may ask you to introduce yourself, so be prepared for that. But generally, it's quite brief.
So with that,
yeah.
the questions that we want to prepare.
Exactly.
To understand it needs to be asked, because when you're sitting there and you're trying to think of questions, but probably you'll forget there's something like that. It goes fast.
Do we want to ask them about working with other commissions on the, do we need their permission to do that? Or their recommendation? What exactly is that?
I can speak a little to that. If it's in your work plan, you're telling them that's what you're gonna do.
Oh,
Okay. Their Chair Morris actually you have a couple of questions you said. If you
I
wanna
do
repeat-
have those. Yeah, because that was a question that came up from the commission. So I wrote that down.
Let me start.
And then whether or not we want to spell out the MALA, just as we did, as I said, and again, Director Hernandez explained why we did that. But if they want us to add any expansion to other groups, that would be, maybe added into that section. I'm sorry, I'm going to just stop for 1 second on this. I am aware that Commissioner Dolich is sitting with quite a bit of pain with her surgery, and she said she needed to drop out when I spoke with her previously after we did the work plan. So I want to give her the opportunity, if she needs to do that now, to be able to leave the meeting and do this in a more formal manner. And we still have a quorum if she does leave. So, Commissioner Dolich, do you want to go?
Yes, I'm sorry that I have to do this, but it's really uncomfortable for me to be sitting for this long a time. But is there anything else you need me to comment on before I leave?
I don't think so. I think we're okay.
And I'm happy with the work plan and
Oh, the art. The only thing is the art. If you have strong feelings about what we're going to be looking at for the walls, are you okay with us doing that?
yeah,
Or do you want to stay for that? Okay. Okay.
I think that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Thanks a million. I'll see you next time, everybody.
Take care of yourself. All right.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everybody else.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay. So back on track with that. I'm sorry. I just knew she needed to move along. So any other questions about our joint meeting? Okay. Okay. Great. Then
So I know, what were the 2 questions again? Can you repeat those?
yes. I haven't written them out very well, but it had to do with collaborating with other commissions or consulting with the other commissions. And whether we discussed spelling out specifically environmental, or if it's okay that we leave it sort of more general, where we consult whatever commission we feel we need to for any specific project. Does that sound right for everybody? Okay. And then the other one was whether or not we needed to be specific about MALA, Justice Vanguard, and the Chinese Association, or if they wanted that to be more general so that we can include other organizations, or maybe we add other organizations. Those were the only 2 I had. And then we don't know their work plan, so we have to see how our work plan works for them and what they think of it, because we don't know what their goals are this year. Okay, so they'll guide us. By then we will? Okay.
I'm not sure what their retreat is, and since we got pushed back, I think they may have their retreat before then. So I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, without that in front of us. Okay, so if there are no further questions, we can move to the next item. I'm sorry, I have this much of a screen that I'm reading for our agenda. So, it's the call for art. So this is where we get to look at the art that's been submitted, and we decide which, or if all, a few, whichever we want on the wall in the hallway at the community center there. I hope everybody had a chance to look at that wall over, the last couple months as you've been walking in, so you have an idea of what kind of space we have. So the theme this year for this call to art was around the world in Los Altos and my cultural heritage. So we will just go through and vote on the artwork that was submitted. And does staff have any sort of do we have, yeah, sorry. Does staff have any sort of information that they want to give to us on this? Any report?
Yes, staff does.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the 2 yes, staff wanted to say this one isn't the usual submission. We were a little low on submissions. We usually get 30, maybe even up to 40 submissions. We had 60 one time. So that is a little more time consuming, and the commission is more involved because they vote on things and try to whittle it down to the amount that will fit on this wall. Our submissions were 18 the other day. It looks like we added the extra 2 that we were expecting. So it's between 18 and 20, and I think they're all included here, right?
They are all.
Okay, they're all included here. You're gonna see them. We have the space.
There's 16.
Is there 16?
In what I'm looking at.
I only
Okay.
have 16.
Then the last 2 did come in. All right. So of those 16, they will all fit here. So right now, we just wanted to run it by the public to say we are prepared to hang all of them, but we also wanted to run it by the commission to say they're all appropriate for hanging, and this is something that fits the theme that you have chosen a while ago. So.
And I do have some notes, but just on a few specific pieces, so I was pulling those up.
Okay. And, I forgot to, yeah, no, go ahead. Before we do that, though, I think we need to ask if there are any clarifying questions. And then we need to see if there are any members of the public that want to comment on this. So does anybody on commission have any clarifying questions for staff?
No.
Hearing none, we'll move on. Are there any members of the public that want to comment on this?
We do not have any comments.
Great. All right, we'll move along then, and then we'll come to our discussion. Or, as Director Hernandez has suggested, we can look at each one of them and decide if we're happy to take them all because we have the space for it. So maybe we go through them one by, not everybody vote on them one by one, but maybe Casey, you could show them all to us. And because it sounds like we have 2 new ones at the end.
We don't have any new ones.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so we only have 16 total.
Correct.
Yeah.
The new
Okay,
ones-
great. Okay. So I'm just going to try to move this along. Did all of the commissioners, did you have time to look at the artwork before you came to the meeting?
Yeah. Yes.
Or do we need to review them? So it sounds like everybody had a chance to look at them. Are there any objections to any of the pieces that are submitted? I don't hear any. Go ahead.
16.
16, is that what you said? The very last one?
Yeah, the very last one.
And I'm sorry, and your comment?
Yeah, I'm concerned that the title might be offensive to some people. Because that chart is a bit outdated. And yeah, I think that one, I might personally object to it a little bit, actually. But if everybody else feels strongly the other way, my opinion can be swayed.
So I think the more common title now is Native American.
Yeah, right.
Although most Native Americans allow for calling each other Indian, but it isn't something that is generally done. We could reach out to the artist and ask if they're okay with changing the title. And if they aren't, do we want to include it or not?
We're just, I don't mean to have a side conversation. We're debating whether or not they have, it's their own cultural heritage or not.
Yeah, I just read the artist statement.
It's very unclear, basically.
Okay, that's it.
Well, it sounds like his mother was, right?
Well, it says the grandmother's middle name was Pocahontas. I don't know if there's an Indian connection. So it's definitely an attempt to honor the Native American culture in Oklahoma, but I could see it potentially being a little offensive. But if everybody feels it's fine, I just wanted to bring it up, make sure it's out.
No, I felt, I kind of balked at it in the beginning. But now reading it closer, it is not clear if this person is of Native American heritage.
Right.
So I would want to learn more.
Okay.
Or not accept it.
I think we need more context. Or err on the safe side.
Yeah.
I do believe
Do we
within the community, they are okay using it, but it feels like something that they've reclaimed, and I feel like people outside the community don't use it.
Yeah.
We could certainly reach out to the artist and ask if the title could be changed to Native American. And then would that be acceptable?
Staff can make that decision. I think right now we're just asking the commission if they approve of all 16 pieces, and if they want to make a motion to approve all 15 pieces minus number 16, we can go forward and we'll follow up with so it's not on the commission's responsibility.
Yeah, I didn't have any issue with any of it. I didn't see any of them.
I think approved 15 outright.
Yeah, 15 approved.
We need a motion, I think, for that, and I'm not opposed to 16. I think it's brings in another type of artwork. So I think it would be good, and art can be controversial. But if the commission wants to approve 15, the question still remains whether or not 16 we can take it separately. We can do the 15 if you want, and then talk about 16.
So we have a motion from Commissioner McDonald. Do you have a second?
For 1 through 15.
For 1 through 15, yes. Yeah. So 1 through 15. Sorry. And so then to vote on that, numbers 1 through 15 being approved outright, Chair Morris,
Yes.
Vice Chair Wynn?
Yeah.
Commissioner Stout?
Yes.
Commissioner Sangani?
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is approved unanimously at 5.
Right. So now we can discuss 16.
Did you say that?
Or you can make a motion. It's up to the commission.
Right.
Around
Let's
the-
make a motion. If somebody has a motion they want to make, you could do that.
Motion for number 16 for staff to include with follow-up information at their discretion.
I second that.
Okay. Chair Morris?
But what do you mean follow up with their discretion? I need clarifying on that.
Staff will have the final decision on hanging it, but you're making a recommendation to do so.
Okay, as long as we're making a recommendation, the motion doesn't state that. Did it? Could we repeat the motion? Maybe I missed it.
Would you like to vote on that motion and make a different?
I'll make a
motion?
friendly amendment. I want to make sure that we have, I would make a friendly amendment to your motion to include that the piece get hung if the title can be changed.
No, that's not what you said.
No, that's not what I.
That's
said.
what I thought. Okay. So,
we'll vote on the motion as is. Chair Morris?
no.
Okay.
Oh.
Vice-
Yeah, sorry, I have to back up. If I vote no, that means that it might not it'll get hung, I think. Okay, no.
Okay. Vice Chair Wynn?
May I ask for the exact wording of the, again, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You're recommending the hanging of this.
No, what I said, I'll try my best to
Okay.
repeat what I said, which was I motion that it's hung at staff discretion with follow-up and potential changing of name as needed.
Okay, then I need to go backwards on the vote and say yes. I'm sorry. Could I change my vote to yes? I didn't realize being hung was in that motion.
Well, maybe I added it, I'm not sure.
I think that was in there,
Okay.
but then ready to change.
Let's repeat the motion again and then take our vote from the beginning.
If you, yeah,
Well, and I always get it from the recording,
yeah.
but it was that you recommended that the piece be hung at staff's discretion after clarification from the artist, including a potential name change.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Vice
Oh,
Chairman.
sorry, we have to call. Yes.
Yes, I got you.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Stout.
Yes.
Commissioner Sangani.
Yes.
And Commissioner McDonald.
Yes.
And that also passed unanimously.
Great. So I think we reached the end of the main part of the meeting, and we have informational items from staff. And are there any?
No, not really. We just as a note, we just finished our first, what was it called?
Family fun
Family
night.
fun night.
We've had 20 family fun days, and those have been in the mornings on Saturdays, but we had our first family fun night, and there were over 100 participants.
Oh, wow.
We did require people register ahead of time, since it was a different type of event. And we are exploring how to run one.
It went well.
That's great.
Was a trivia theme.
Oh, how
Family
fun.
fun night.
Well, that was last Friday, right?
It was.
Yes.
So like a family game?
Yeah, it was family trivia,
People.
and pizza and.
That's great.
Awesome. We can get you on that, yeah.
Bridget will send out the information. The only other thing that for information, did everybody get Bridget Matheson's email contacts to clear volunteer background checks? Okay. If not, we will send that
I'll
again.
connect that.
We'll resend that just to make sure, because if you're not background checked, even if you're background checked with the school district or somebody else, we need to have you background checked, because obviously you can't share information like that between organizations. So we need you to volunteer at events like the Family Fun Night or Family Fun Day. Whenever you're working with, as a volunteer, especially with children, we make no exceptions to that. You just need a background check. It's actually pretty simple, pretty quick, but
Yeah.
you have to go out of your way to get it done.
I'll send it tonight. Bridget will be on it too. You guys will all get follow-up emails by tomorrow.
Thank you.
She's quick.
To make that clear, especially with the events that we've committed to doing. Some of them include working directly with the home.
Yeah.
So whenever that's unsupervised or specific in those things, you need to do background check. Okay, that's all. I think other than that, happy New Year.
I think we also got an email from Bridget asking for volunteers for some upcoming events. And I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly what they are, but I hope you all got that email as well. But yeah, jump on. Sorry.
So that's what
We'll
I'll
fix it.
connect everyone with Bridget.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Thank you. So I don't think we have any commission or subcommittee reports because we're just getting started. So we're done with that one. And then are there any requests for future agenda items? Anybody have anything?
Yeah, I would love to discuss setting up a shuttle system from the San Antonio Caltrain to downtown Los Altos on festival days. I think that's more of a method, especially for the festival, so we kind of don't really have to talk about it. But I just thought of that and would like to explore that for the next festival. Or oh no, like over the summer. Oh. And it's so early, so we. Cool idea.
And when we do future agenda items, correct me if I'm wrong, Director Hernandez, but I believe we have to have 2 commissioners that agree to have it put on as a future agenda item. Is that correct? And then we can add it? Okay, Casey's nodding her head, so. So does anybody else want to support that suggestion for a shuttle? Talking about having the shuttle for events and festivals.
We'll support that. Okay. That's all.
Okay, great. Perfect.
So just
Yes.
just to explain how that process works, because many of you are new to the commission. So now that gets on, something like that, hey, suggested agenda item, yes, we have more than one, let's put it on. That's on the future agenda items. That does mean it gets to the agenda. Okay, based on staff's discretion, as well as I work with the chair of the commission, from the Chair Morris and we get together before the meeting on a monthly basis. And we decide what goes on that next one. So it may not get on at all. It may get on in the next meeting. It may get on a meeting in the future. So I just wanted to explain that's how the process goes. Okay.
And it's also fair, I think, to say that it's not every idea has to be discussed right, like the winter concert series, for example, we might not have to discuss that further here. We could just work on it, yeah, give up.
Yeah, and something like that, this comes up a lot when there's ideas that, hey, we should discuss the way Shout Park is maintained or something like that. Some of you don't understand exactly how maintenance works with the parks, and those things can happen right away, just working directly with me and my department. So that's why it may never reach the level of, because we may just hook up with the Art and Wine Group, the Lava or something like that, to say, hey, we're gonna have shuttles, can you work it out? And then it doesn't have to be discussed, or we can just give updates on stuff. So just explaining that process doesn't mean that's how this is gonna happen. I want to explain it. That's all.
Okay, and I think it's important though for future agenda items that it does bring ideas that the commissioners have out into the front of everybody's eyes and helps us learn more about what's important to each other as well. So with that, I appreciate everybody's hard work, attention, and effort on this work plan and on our meeting tonight. So it's been a good meeting, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all at the next meeting. And I think we can close unless I'm wrong. And I'm sorry, I'm going to get confused about what time it is there. It is it's 8:30 p.m. on the dot. So we will adjourn our meeting at 8:30, and geez, it'll just be terrible. I have to go walk to the beach or something, you know?
Thanks for taking time away from
Thank you all. I'm sorry I was on Zoom. Take good care.